What's up guys, this is Shannon. Today we're going to check out TRX Residence in TRX. Okay, let's go. Hey guys, we are back here again in one of the most exciting addresses in KL right now. That's for several reasons. So to be very specific, we are now around Jalan Imbi area. At least that's what it used to be called, but now it's actually labeled as TRX. And why is it so attractive? It's the reference point for people to really gauge the relevance of their property. So whenever you buy something, right, oh, how long to TRX, how far TRX from this location? And that's mainly because it's a mixture of different things. So TRX itself is a master plan and it consists of a mall, which is the exchange. Then you will have several other office buildings where you can see it's Prudential building, Affin Bank building, and etc. And that reflects in job opportunities, and for investors it's a great thing. For tenants, everybody wants to stay close to the MRT or that connects directly to TRX, or actually be close to TRX. And something about this location again is between two main roads of Klang Valley. One is Jalan Tun Razak, but that one forever jam one. The other one is actually Jalan Sultan Ismail that connects over to Pavilion and KLCC side. And for this trip, I purposely parked further away instead of directly into the residence because I want to showcase the original setting of the location. So you can see all these single-story structures. They are all converted into banquet halls, F&B outlets, some for locals, some for tourists. And when we just walk around, the frequency of buses passing by is insane. And that is one of the main attractive point for projects surrounding, surrounding this location. It's a very popular tourist spot, which indirectly introduced another rental options for all investors, which is the short-term stay option. So that's the project that we're going to check out today. And this is the local delight stores from Malaysia, and you can look into all the tourists. Very good, boosting our local economy. However, the limitation of the site is the very old infrastructure. So you can see the roads are narrow, you have all these hanging electrical cables, car parkings are everywhere. But after this master plan was built, you can really see the distinct difference in infrastructure treatments. You can see stone pavements with tactiles all the way throughout the whole township. That's great. But right opposite, right, you can barely even walk straight. So along the pathway, you will have CCTVs, you have security guards all the way. Even at the fringe, you will have a landscape treatment, a wider one here for safety. And this connects us over to Persiaran TRX Utara, which connects over to TSL Office Tower, a very nice modern building. And this will be the project that we're going to check out today. Nice! So right in front of the entrance, you will have this big public area that is actually connected and sharing with the exchange, which is the mall. And this is the park, but actually it's just all elevated on planter box, so nothing too great to shout about. But these create a buffer between TRX exchange station, which is the MRT station, to the residents. As mentioned, this is the main reference point for all projects in KL for measurements of popularity and the significance of investment. If you are in the same track with TRX or you have a direct line to TRX, your property will do pretty well. But what if you are directly on the station itself? So from the residence coming out, right, this will be the exchange at TRX, and you can see all this fancy architecture, high rises everywhere, stone pavements everywhere. Very nice, and you can go shopping all you want within your convenience. So coming into the project from a pedestrian point of view, kinda awesome lah. So if your goal is to really impress people or your friends or your visitors that kind of visit you, right? Solid. When you come in, you will have the entire entrance statement. Just screams luxury from a material application point of view. When you go into the lobby, it feels like an art gallery, and there will be a concierge in place all the time to actually serve you. So that is that pure function of service residence. You will have a guy at the doorstep all the time, and they will help you with the lift, because the lift system here is a little bit different. Specific lifts serve specific floors only. That's why the waiting time was almost nothing. It was so quick. And coming out, this will be the lift lobby. 3 lifts in total, servicing 11 units, and the width here will be 2.5 meters, the height is 2.7, and just nice when you come out, you will be facing this little void in between the block, and here you can see Jalan Imbi side. So that will be Exxon, which is a very hot Airbnb project right now, and the railings used is this is like a curtain wall system, half of it at least, so for ventilation. Splash, I don't think there will be any rain splash because it's actually covered at the top. You will have a sky garden on alternate floors, and this will be the layout of Tower A. So you have 11 units all together, serviced by 3 lifts here. There will be another 3 lifts on the other side, so it's 6 lifts all together, which is nice. And it's positioned in a format where this is the core and all units are placed surrounding. So in terms of efficiency, it's very nice. You will have a gap here for ventilation and vantage points. This I think will be the most expensive one lah. This will have the best facade view, but let's go and check it out. So the ceilings are all covered, and they're implementing a sensor system to kind of have a better energy efficiency. There won't be any voids in the center. So the corridor width is a mere 1.3 meter, and I'm just figuring out what is this for. I think this is the lift, so you can just scan and press, and this will be the lifts already. But looking at this, right, this is supposed to be facing the golf course view, but just too bad, right next to the residence there's this new high-rise building that just takes up everything. Well, that's the risk of buying a building in the city center. Okay, so between the corridors, this will be the access to the refuse. Okay, and this is the access to the service lift. So even the service lift lift panel is a little bit different. Very cool. And this is weird. They have a wet refuse room. I think these are things that they need to clear on a daily basis. So there will be no access to window. That's why they will have a mechanical ventilation system, full height tiles all the way. And because this is wet, so they kind of set this up to kind of prevent the liquids from spilling over. Wow, but this one to take up the refuse is going to be challenging. Then on the other side, this is the dry one where it's supposed to be for recycling. Interesting. So for the common areas, you will have tiles that includes a ramp into the unit, and this is that format of somewhat like a hotel. There's no foyer at all, everything's within. Timber door frames, very exciting. Let's go check it out. Anyway, this is the unit I'm going to check out today. This is Type 3, 850 square feet. And when you come into the unit, it's actually split into 2 ways. One will be the study area here, connected to bedroom 2 and your bathroom. On this side, then it will be the kitchen, dining, living. Then you will have the master bedroom here. So just now as we walked about, right, so this here you will have the king here, and in the center this will be the master bath. So the facade is actually shared by all rooms, just that different proportions. Okay, coming in, so the clearance is 895 by 2.3 meters on the height. So this is a 900 by 2.4 meter door, and I really like the solid timber door frame. This is very rare nowadays. And coming in, straight away the foyer is actually built within. You will have stone floorings. It looks like granite, but the sizes are a little bit smaller, so it gives you that pixelated kind of feel. Awesome. So here it kind of divides the layout into 2. On one side, this will be the powder room to one of the bedrooms. Here will be the pantry or kitchen, dining, living, then the bedroom. So let's check this side out first. So this is actually built after, but it serves as a very nice side table where you can put in your keys or whatsoever here, shoe cabinets. Okay, so these are actually done by the makeover guys. Very nice. And here it connects to the powder room. Okay, so powder room is the toilet without shower. No, got shower. Yeah, so this is a bathroom. Yeah, it's not a powder room, it's a bathroom where you have cooler, WC and basin, almost full side mirrors, shower screen, full height wall tiles, mechanical ventilation. So you have a nice compartment here to put your shampoo there because at the shower area not enough space. This will be the vanity top. This will be the drawers. This looks like it's built in with the developer unit. And I like these treatments of transition between levels. So here, this is always the wet area. So they kind of addressed it differently. Nice. And this is also another compartment for you to build in a cabinet. So here you can actually just have a full size one. Because as units get smaller, storage area, yard space are usually the first one to go. And in this one, it looks like they don't have yard space also. So technically this should be the yard space. Moving on then, this will be the first bedroom. If you have a queen size bed, bedside table, wardrobe, timber floor, very nice. So the area of the room is 2.6 by 3.7 meters. It rather large actually, just that after you put in a cabinet here feels like a king here, but for the storage for your clothes, what to do, right? And then this little treatment here. So this is supposed to cater for the subsequent bedroom. That's why this king here doesn't feel very comfortable, but this has access to the windows here. It's a solid, very heavy window, and I like how they actually cover the facade walls. Wow! Well, I guess this is what you're paying for like, at this price. What treatment! Nice. Anyway, aircon unit will be located within the wardrobe itself to kind of camouflage within. Anyway, moving on, then this will be the kitchen, and you have an island here. This is a very nice setup if you have family and friends around, because when you prepare your food, everybody's around. So the ceiling height from the front portion of the unit is about 2.6 meters. The dimension from the fridge to the end of the pantry, the length of this kitchen is 2.42 meters. And it feels a little bit more luxurious because the workstation here is slightly deeper. So usually they will provide 2 feet, right? 600. This is actually 700. And you will have ample amount of space, a reflective backsplash. So they kind of just doubles up the volume a little bit. This is actually the gas, centralized gas. Very cool. Chrome in bronze. Very nice. Then you have all the plug points here. Hood and hob by Smack, and this is most likely furnished by the developer because it is so good, right? This one also by Smack. You have all the edges in bronze, chrome, looks so classy. You have soft closing as well for all the main spaces, right? So this is the location of the washer and dryer. So technically that is the study area just now, but I think that is a better space for wardrobe, but not enough space really, so they just put here lah. Okay, the location of DB box is actually here. Very interesting. Okay, and it's all set up nicely at the edge, so all the edges, right, all are just camouflage along with the column as well. So the ceiling height here is about 3.06 meters. The wall-to-wall width here is about 3.5 meters. For this scale, I think this dimension is very sizable because after you put in a 4-seater here, you still have a very nice, comfortable circulation space to walk about. I just don't like this extra platform here. Like, what for? Aesthetic, it looks nice like the floating platform kind of thing, but I don't like it. Then also this seems to be the structural shear wall. That's why you have a protruding layer on the wall here. But I do appreciate how the team kind of dressed it up. If not, this would look way better. And moving on, this will be the living looking onto the facade. So there's no balcony here, but you have a full window at the end looking towards Menara TS Law, right? So this is a very peculiar view where you have the original setting of Jalan Imbi. A lot of car parks, a lot of old bungalows, and you will have superb modern offices. Then at the edge you will have the golf course. At the end you will have the Banjaran, which is very nice. That will be Jalan Sultan Ismail already, so walking distance wise you can actually go to Pavilion. But why go there when downstairs you will have the exchange lah? And looking at the property portal of iProperty, sub-sale unit like this is going for about 2 million to 2.2 million. I guess the difference will be on the view that you get, also the floor height of the unit. Then for rental wise, a fully furnished unit is going for 7,000 to 8,500. Again, it depends on the orientation and the view. Because on this side you still have some clearance, on the other side you are facing a building that's under construction, then not so nice. And it's just crazy, right? Because if you just reverse calculate that rate, right, per square feet is about 2,500 to 2,600 per square feet. When a stone throw away, we have projects that is going for about 1,200 to 1,300 per square feet. Then you throw harder, which is across Kampong Pandan roundabout area to Maluri, right? That's about 700 per square feet. So sometimes a 10 minutes drive away, does it justify a 2,000 ringgit per square foot in premium? That's the whole concept of real estate, right? Ultimately, it's the address that counts. And within TRX itself, is this really the center of gravity for everything? Every other locations are just using this as a selling point to their project. That's what you're paying for. It's the luxury, the convenience, the status, the premiumness. And when this was sold, I think it was also about 2,000 per square feet already. And guess what? I think some of the owners are making money. And for the window treatment, this is almost like part of a curtain wall system. So let's just open. It's rather heavy, and there will be some traffic noise. Then you can see Jalan Tun Razak is forever having congestion, right? Then in terms of tinting, there will be certain level of tinting. Noise isolation, let's try. Whoa, solid. Then in terms of aircon location, this will be the aircon, and you will have sprinklers across the unit as well, because it is still under a commercial title. I don't know what is that for. Yeah, I don't know what is that for. Okay, next to the living room, this will be the master suite, and it comes with the master bathroom as well. So the wall-to-wall width here is about 2.6 meters, a little bit more narrow than usual, because usual is about 3 meters. But the length from the window to this wall here is about 3.6 lah. So if you were to put a normal wardrobe outside, then it might eat up the circulation space. But I do like this treatment here, where they already arrange the structural members to kind of have this king here for wardrobe, and they built in together with the aircon blower, so that's very nice. Similar treatments on flooring, you have the timber, then this will be the window as well, similar treatment, similar orientation, but just that you have the extra angle here. Wow, this window expensive. Oh, very expensive window treatments. Then on the side, this will be the access to the aircon latch. This will be the compressor. And the facade treatments for utility areas is already more premium than usual. I think this is also the smoke extractor system from the kitchen area just now. Yeah. Again, I really don't like this angled wall here. But this will be to cater for the first bedroom before, right? And this will be the master bathroom. So you have cutler, WC and basin, shower screen, full height wall tiles. This will be the cabinet, then the mirror, mechanical ventilation. Nice. And just to highlight the texture around the wall, so this is like stone, and you have all these Kohler appliances around, right? Whoa. And I guess that's all for the unit. Let's go check out the facility stack. Okay guys, so now we are in level 29, and coming out from the lift we have the outdoor dining area next to the barbecue pit. And this is a very nice viewing deck, so you have triple height volume, then a landscape treatments at the edge for protection purposes. But this view here, you will have the office tower as your backdrop, this one as well, but here you have the pussy willows. When got wind, it really gives you the effect, and I guess this is the best area for view lah. So here you get to see the mall's park area, sky roof, and their roofing strategies. And I heard that will be further extension of the entire master plan, so that's very exciting as well. But here you get to see the ever-changing skyline of KL already lah. So a lot of brand new high-rise are just coming up non-stop, and that's something that we really need to pay attention to if we're investing in the CBD area, because your view most of the time is only temporary. Like you see here, sooner or later that will be another high rise, right? So the boundary is already being outlined, so sooner or later only, just a matter of time. And this is also a favorite venue for families to come during the weekend. So for events, for outdoor escapes and things like that, right? A lot of people actually do come. So I guess this will be the main difference lah, if you're investing into properties of this level, right? Look at this facility. The things within the space cost so much more. To a certain level, you enjoy it yourself, that's very good. But to me, it's bragging rights. You get to show off to your friends. Wow. Well, my mom would love this. So on the other side, we have the lap pool. This is a rather short one. I think it's at 25 meters only, but it's a very nice one. So it's an elevated pool. On the side, you still have your landscape and you have creepers as the partition away from the lift lobby. That's nice. Then this will be the yoga deck. Then next to the fitness area. So on one side, you will have the Concept 2 equipment. You will have the bike erg, ski erg, assault runner, and the rower. Then free weights will be all on this side. If you're training for hydrox, I think this is pretty sufficient. And this is also overlooking to the surrounding. Very exciting. On the other side, this will be the free weight area as well, the weightlifting area. That will be for calisthenics. Okay, so you have the speaker, full blasting, very nice. And this will be the martial art area. Well, next to that, here you will have a plunge pool area, and again, how they use design elements as partition seems to be the main attraction for this project. So you have the creepers and landscape treatment, glass railing to kind of separate access. This one again, you will have a raised platform, planter box, right? Creepers to kind of give you that privacy when you are just soaking yourself away from all the stress. Nice. So I think here you will just lie around and just let the water do its job, soak around. I don't think whether is it an ice bath kind of thing, I don't think so. But the view here then, really it's rather limited, to be honest. Just a lot of towers here and there. So on the other side of the block then we have the sky bar here, which is very cozy. And right opposite that, that will be the residence lounge. And let's not go and disturb people, because actually a lot of tenants are actually using it. One just said hi. Wow. You get to chill at resident lounge at this hour. It's really not easy also lah. Anyway, something about the skyline of KL, like you can see Pavilion Square is coming out, Kempenski, Stoner, and you can see a lot more. It's just really rising and it's ever changing. Very exciting. But around Tower B side, it's really just activities that are way more quiet. So you have a lot of lounge, a lot of sitting areas, a lot of private corners, right? Just for you to have a conversation, dial down a little bit. Your private dining area, because when the unit gets a little bit too small, right, these areas are very important just to host a birthday party with your close friends, get a chef in, right, gao din. But just one main thing to highlight, right, these finishes, that reflective metallic kind of texture when the sun ray hits it, right, wow, really posh, very nice. And you tie that with the facade colors of the glazing, awesome. So now we are in level 8 and just came out from the gym. So high class, so comfortable. Equipments here then, not like the Sky Gym where it's a little bit more Hydrox CrossFit based. Here is a little bit more boutique gym kind of setting. And you have all techno gyms equipments around. This one a little bit is more conventional, not like the one upstairs. Here you will have this living room thing. I think it's for you to host a party also. Wow. This looks really nice, it's like a reading room kind of thing. So at level 8, this will be the larger swimming pool. So on the Sky Gym one, that one is a little bit more private. This one, it's more sizable and it looks awesome in my opinion. This looks very hotel-ish. well, a very atas hotel lah. So now the tone is a little bit more earthly tone, and I like that it's really blend accordance to the level of the mall as well next door. So at the side you will have all the deck. It's just a very simple, not even infinity edge. You will have the glass railing at the edge, and I like that it's a little bit more private on this one. You will have only your units overlooking this, then your furnitures all at the side. Pretty straightforward. I guess this should be somewhat like a breakfast lounge area, and again with the same treatments of railings, glass railing at the edge. Next to the main pool, then this will be a small little kids pool, not very emphasized, right? But this will be the kids play area. Not too crazy also, but I think it's sufficient. You will have the rubber mat flooring, trampoline, very nice. And this is actually next to a nursery, so got kids inside, so let's not shoot it, right? But it looks kind of nice here, right? And I really like that position this away, tucked at the corner, away from the main activities lah. Cool. Okay, now we are in the basement car park, and we can see on the edge we don't have any access to ventilation at all because basement mah kan. So now you have all the car park bays here. This will be tied to the tower because you have the massive shear wall. Then you have some with the columns, cement screeding. A pedestrian pathway, it will be epoxy paint. This will be the entrance to the lobby. Very fancy, very nice, and I like that it's transparent and it's fully air conditioned. So it's very comfortable. Just that in terms of tunnel turning, then it will be rather tight. So you can see it's rather tight. So I guess that's all for the visit. It's now time for Sean's take 3 on 3. The first thing I like that this is the center of gravity. Like things like connectivity, accessibility, convenience whatsoever, right? Doesn't really apply here already because this is that ultimate reference for all property against their connectivity. People always compare, hey, how far away from TRX? How many stations away from TRX? This is in that reference point. So that being said, you are actually paying for that lah, number one. Number two, I like that this is within a master plan development. It means that when you have all towers within the same developer built all together, you won't cannibalize each other. So it's between a mall, then you have all elements complementing each other, like the Prudential Tower, Affin Tower, then you have the Exchange, then you have the residents all together complementing each other, tied to the MRT station. Awesome. Everything within each jurisdiction, I think nothing much to complain lah. The only thing that we will see a drastic difference is whenever it's beyond the boundary. Like for example, along Jalan Imbi, all the old structures, right? You will see that drastic difference in treatments of infrastructure. Like you look into this brand new tower right in front of TRX residents, this is beyond their jurisdiction, so you can see a drastic difference in furnishing as well. But anything within that master plan, awesome. That's why you have the facility deck at level 8 kind of tied to the roof facility of the mall, so it really complements each other. And because of that, the third thing I really like is in terms of density of high-end residential, right? I guess this is the paramount already, and it's not a standalone thing, which I like even further. So a lot of very posh residents, it's really for family to stay away from action in a very connected location. Privacy will be top priority, but this one not really. So this one you can really see tenants all hanging out at the lounge area. You can really see people walking from the station to the residence, and people really travel and walk around the office building. So in terms of rental wise, when you think that 2 million when they buy, it was about 1.8 to 2 million bucks, right? You can rent out at 6 to 7,000 per unit. Actually, it's not too crazy, and this is only possible when you have multiple rental options here. So here you will have people who want to stay themselves, people who are working around the area, then you will have the Airbnb short-term stay, but I don't think this one is allowed. But just to add on something more, I really like the design language. It's one of a kind, never seen before. Like the amount of emphasis on the facade treatments, like the material is really consistent throughout the mall, throughout the office, throughout the residence, throughout the facilities, throughout the doors. That's great. I like the Sky facility that's very private. In terms of gym, they provide 2 kind of gyms, one for high rocks CrossFit kind of level, this one will be a more standard conventional pool as well. And in terms of facilities, there's one side there's a little bit more action, one side a little bit more private. Everything is very well designed, although the canvas size is very limited, even for the unit itself. Nothing much to pick on besides them trying to maximize as much experience for individual room. That's why you have the king there. Besides that, everything else is superb. You will have the humidity detector to tie in with your aircon system. You have proper ventilation system. In terms of glazing, you will have the curtain wall system. If you're a high income bachelor, this is the place that I will stay lah. If I'm a bachelor lah. Because technically I can do anything, right? Without even owning a car, I don't have really access to my car also. Everything is sorted out. I want conventional Malaysian food, can just walk over to Imbi. You want to meet up friends, can hang out at Pavilion, hang out at KLCC, or you want to hang out at the Exchange. Lifestyle point of view, 100 mark. For the three things I don't like, number one, from everything within the master plan, as mentioned, everything is controlled, but once you look out to Jalan Imbi side, right, sometimes you will feel a drastic difference in terms of the profile of people and the level of infrastructure. So if you constantly just stay within the master plan, awesome, right? But if you just walk out a little bit, that is a very old settlement within the city. That's why roads are narrow, car park everywhere, and those are the locations where a lot of foreign workers stay. So a lot of people just stay around the area. For whoever that's actually working in the mall within the service line, right, they actually stay there. But it gives you a very diverse experience lah. If you kind of also want that local flavor to lifestyle, that's the place to go also. But just be very real lah. Within this realm, you are tip top. But once you walk out, right, jenis orang ada. Secondly, whatever views you have right now are all temporary, because looking into Jalan Imbi side, looking into the surrounding, there's a lot of land that's still now used as a car park area, abandoned bungalow lots, right? Sooner or later they will be amalgamated. I think now the owners all kind of smart, also want to raise the selling price. But it can just be another TS Law Tower, can never be another residence tower right in front, and everybody is just using TRX as the selling point, but then they are able to sell lower because they are not a master plan. They are all individual stand-alone projects, so the amount of capital required is less. That also somewhat affect the performance of your investment. Last of all, the amount of investment, like for this unit, is about 2 million if I were to buy it, right? Or if I were to rent it, it's about 7,000 to 8,000 ringgit. I don't have the quantity, so if you are really expecting quantity or the breadth of space, right, you won't get it here. In exchange for that, then you'll be all the finishes and all the more detailed things in terms of finishes, in terms of materials. Even for the facility deck, you won't feel like the scale of things, but in terms of finishes and materials, again, it's very nice. So it really depends on what you want. Like at this range, you could have get double the size, even triple the size somewhere further away. But for here, you are really paying for the convenience of being in the center of gravity for everyone else. Yeah, so don't kind of expect here, hey, I paid so much, right? So small the unit, it doesn't work like that lah, right? That's why when you go into the facility, why the gym so small? Why the pool so small? Why this one so small, right? But it's really limited canvas. And with the limited canvas, I think the developer has done their very best already. Even in the car park area just now, like the turning to the ramps, right, it's also pretty narrow. But that's the setting of being in city center lah. If you want further away, so things can get kind of loose a little bit. It depends really what you want. And I guess that's all for today. Do I like the project? If I'm a bachelor, this is the location where I'm going to stay lah. So comparing KLCC, because KLCC side, there will be large size units like 2,000 square feet, 2,005 square feet. Right here is 850, a little bit more intimate to my point of view. But here you will be surrounded by a lot of people. Like you will have people just lying around there, don't know do what, construction workers lying around, people who going to office. KLCC side a little bit different in terms of profile, but I guess that's all for today. Shout out to the owner, congratulations on your brand new unit. Thank you very much for offering your unit, for showing us. And if you really like this video, like it, share it, even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.